is just casual, right? So it's fine.
Oh, it is. Yay, we are live. Let me get
Awesome.
back to Zoom so I can see you.
Sounds
Hello,
good.
everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Yay, I am so excited to have Kristina, Teacher Tina, on today. Hey, Tina.
Yay. Thanks. I'm really excited to be here, Kasie. Thanks for asking me to join you.
Yes, I'm glad you had a chance. I know you were super busy. And so, those of you that are watching, wow, we already have 13 here. Thanks for coming.
Oh.
If I'm looking straight down, these are her questions. We have quite a few today. Some were sent to me from other teachers. And if I'm looking to the side, this is the live chat over here, Tina. Did you pull it up?
I do have it pulled up, but I'm hearing
Oh,
us on it, so I need to
oh
mute
yeah.
that.
I should have warned you. We always have to mute ourselves on the iPad. So
Oh, that's
great.
up. That is not down.
Let's see who's here so I can say hi.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm a little amped up this morning. Not only am I excited Tina's here, but I spilt water all down the front of me. I don't know why I'm telling everybody, but so I'm a little bit like all over the place this morning.
Was it a little
Uh,
bit refreshing? Like just a little bit?
with the water?
Yeah. Did it wake you up a little bit?
I don't know. It was like 2 minutes ago, and I was like, oh.
Oh.
So, hey, Teacher Kelly Tag is here. Amy Lou, Danny, Happy Farms, Louisiana, Savannah, Carrie, Stephanie. Is it Lauren? Loren? She said, hi, Christina. And
Awesome.
Janice. Janice,
Hello.
nice to see you again. Oh,
Oh,
Teacher Tina. Janice, I need to give you a blue wrench. You asked about it yesterday, and you're always at my live. So thank you so much. Hey, Katie. Thanks for coming, everybody. And I know Danny and Cindy Bennett had rough starts to their morning, but they're still
oh,
supporting us. So I'm so thankful that they're here and
that's
supporting us.
awesome.
So thanks, guys. All
Yeah,
right, let's get right into it. Can
sure
you
thing. Sounds good.
can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Kristina Garcia. I live in Pennsylvania. I have a husband and we have two cats. And I love fitness. I love God. I love traveling, which I can't really do right now, but I can think about traveling and relive the memories. And I love teaching. So I kind of me in a nutshell.
That's great. I love to travel too. We were just talking about it yesterday on the live with Brooke. 2021, we're hoping to all go to China, or at least a group of
That
us.
would
You
be
know,
so cool.
when they offer the China trip, that would be so much fun. So,
Absolutely. Is that
well, thanks, guys.
multi-city?
It's the one, yes, yes, it's the one that China or that VIPKid sends. I don't know. This is I'm still not at 1 year yet with VIPKid. So it all came
You've
about
done so much.
In August and September when I started. So,
Gotcha. That's like a really cool trip.
oh my goodness, you guys are so funny. I'm first. Oh man, you beat me. Oh, they crack
Oh,
me up.
Janice is on here. I think Lauren, I recognize your picture. I think Lauren was one of my referrals who recently got married.
Oh
So I was like, I
wow.
don't recognize her last name, but that would explain it.
And then you have to, oh
That's
yes.
awesome.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
so what was your why for becoming a VIPKid teacher?
So when I found VIPKid, my husband and I had recently moved from North Carolina. We were there for almost a year.
Hmm.
And I was looking for work and I didn't want to be a classroom teacher, but I kind of still wanted to teach in some capacity.
Hmm.
And I wanted to become a mom. Like I was like ready to be a mom 3 years ago, like, let's go. And so I was like, let me find something that I can seamlessly into teaching, like so I can have teaching and, kids and have
Yeah.
that just work together really well because I like to kind of think ahead. Um, and so that's kind of why I got started with VIPKid, and I still don't have kids for the first time in forever. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And like I just, it's been really, really cool to be a part of VIPKid and to see what all has happened with that. But yeah, that's kind of like my why was I wanted to teach because I love kids and I love languages, but I also wanted the flexible schedule. So
Hmm.
it's kind of why I got started.
Well, and you have two fur babies.
I do. One of them is over here. Do you want to see him?
Sure.
Okay. He's sleeping in a cabana right now.
Oh.
see.
I love animals. Oh,
And
oh, cute.
oh, sea bass.
Oh,
He's both of our cats are black, and so sometimes it's hard to see them when they're like in a black or dark space. It's like, is there even
hmm
a cat in there? And then you see their eyes. Hey, say hi.
being shy.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's being shy, but
we had an all black
he's.
cat when I
Oh,
was
you do?
little. Her name was
Oh, you did.
Houdini.
Oh, I love that. Awesome.
Yes, yes. Micah, we're gonna ask her about her trip here in a little bit. So,
Micah, I'm excited Micah's here.
yes, Micah's
I like to
awesome.
I like to think that all his little foster kittens are watching too.
Oh, they're so cute. I know. I
Yes,
think it's
they.
time for me to get an animal. We've been overseas for 17 years, and I just never had like animals of my own, except for, we had a bird and a fish, and but I don't know. Lately I've been like, oh, I want a puppy. I have a grand puppy and I love her.
Oh, well,
So
that's awesome. You get to love on the grand puppy, but you don't have to take puppy to the vet, I wouldn't think.
true. But my daughter works for the vet, so
Oh, okay.
so
That's
how long
funny.
have you been with VIP Kid?
So it's since July of 2017, so it'll be 3 years in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we did talk a little bit about a brand ambassador. You were a brand ambassador, but they're not doing that so much anymore, right?
I think the
That we know
program
of.
just kind of fizzled out. Yeah. So we were sent, those of us who were brand ambassadors were sent contracts, like new contracts to sign a couple
hmm
of months ago, but there was a lot of just vagueness to it,
Yeah.
and I don't want badly on VIP Kid, but it just didn't seem like the program was really happening anymore. So I didn't even
Right.
re-sign it. I don't think anybody I've talked to has re-signed it. So I
Yeah.
think it was kind of like the program is on hold right now, or I don't know if it's totally finished. But yeah, that was interesting being
Right.
a brand
Yeah.
ambassador.
Huh.
Yeah.
I always tried to watch when I was first getting started. I actually tried to find those that had the symbol
Oh,
so that I
really?
knew,
Okay.
so that I knew the information. But I had to learn it from another video that that was actually a thing.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Yeah.
good. Let's see. Do you work for any other companies?
Well, that's an interesting question because I actually just got hired with another company, and I was a VIP Kid purist for almost three, like whole time I was like, oh, I don't need another company, like VIP Kid all the way, gung ho, like I just didn't want to throw in. I tend to be, and this is, sometimes not a good thing. I tend to be very black and white things that I do, like either I'm
Mhm.
all in or I don't even do it,
Right.
so with VIP Kid, like I was all in, but then just the past, I guess I should back up a little bit. My husband and I really moved into our new house. Thankfully, we moved in before the quarantine stuff happened.
Oh, good.
Um,
Yeah.
so we got to actually be in quarantine in the house, because that would have been really sad if our house had been just sitting there waiting for us.
Right.
But anyway, we had a lot of internet issues when we moved in. Like we couldn't even get internet for the first week and a half or so. And
Yeah.
then once we had it, like I was able to get 1 megabit per second, like lucky. Um, and so, I've since then, lots of calls with the internet company and just trying to use all these devices and things. Now I finally can teach, but I really learned a lot during that time that, yeah, I missed my students a lot. I love my students, like I
hmm
see pictures of my students all the time. Like, this is my student Sophia sent this to me. And so like
Oh.
I see this day and I love these kids so much, but I honestly didn't miss the classes like it really surprised me,
hmm
that it was kind of like I was forced not to teach, and I didn't really miss it that much. Like, I miss my kids, but the curriculum, and I miss waking up early. Like, wake
Right.
early to teach, I should say. I still get up early, but I like to
hmm
have my mornings to do my own thing.
Right.
So
I'm learning.
so yeah, I don't know. I used to be like, said like all in with VIP Kid. Like, I would get up really early. I would teach until I was like totally exhausted. And then I'd do
hmm
referring stuff the rest of it. Like it was all in all day VIP. And just like certain situations kind of forced is it like that's not healthy, at least for me, to have that kind of lack of balance in my life.
Right.
And so that was kind of my I started thinking other things I could be doing besides just VIPKid. Now I'm not leaving VIPKid. I still
Right.
love it and I still want to have it there and like support new teams. But like I said, I was tired of the curriculum and I was tired of having to teach on China. So that was kind of why I started thinking about other companies. And then my friend, teacher Lauren Snyder, do
Uh,
you know her?
I know the name. You are frozen. Oh, there
The
you are.
Frozen. Okay.
Um,
That's weird. Sorry. Internet, like I said.
I know you were just frozen, kind of like.
Oh
Ah.
no, I make weird faces when I talk, so when it
I do
freezes, it's like
too.
kind of funny.
To see all my
Um,
screenshots. Okay, you're back. I'm
yeah.
so sorry about that.
Okay. No, that was almost definitely my internet, even though I'm hooked up. Um, so my friend Lauren Snyder, do you know her?
I know the name. Is she with Newbie Island or one of the
Yes.
groups?
Yep,
Okay,
that's her
I know I
group.
knew the name.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's one of my dearest friends in VIPKid. We actually met in person first,
Oh,
I
fun.
guess, because uh, she and I had gone to like this Pittsburgh meetup. So I went to like the first ever meetup in the Pittsburgh area, and I at that time was living a few from Pittsburgh, but I just like saw that there was a meetup in Pennsylvania, and I was like, I'm going.
Going, yeah.
I was like a couple months into VIPKid at that point. But anyway, Lauren in Pittsburgh too, and she had started like hosting meetups, and somebody from like orders had contacted her. This is how it went. They contacted her and asked, if they could have a meeting with some local teachers, just to take them out to lunch and hear their thoughts and things like that. And so Lauren invited me to go. So that's kind of
Oh,
how we met. We
fun.
were there with some of the, head honchos, if you will, like
Yeah.
not Jesse or Cindy, but there were a couple of people who were pretty high up in like curriculum and that kind of thing. Um, anyway, Lauren and I have been friends for a couple of years now. And we've gone to Journey together, and she's just amazing. She's the meetup queen. But anyway, she and I chat on the phone every now and then. And so she called me, I guess like a week or two ago, and she was like, Tina, like, I know that you're really busy, but I started teaching with this company, and I really feel like it's something that you would really enjoy too. And like, no pressure at all. I just don't know if you've heard about it. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, tell me more. So the company is called OutSchool.
Hmm.
And I'm really excited about it. I just got cleared to teach, like my profile just got cleared. So I haven't taught any classes yet with them.
Okay.
But I'm really excited to do that because it has so much flexibility.
Oh, good.
So something that I love about VIPKid is the flexibility in that if you want to open up slots, you can. If you don't want to open, like you
Yeah.
have that flexibility. But with this, you're not tied to China time, which, you can open
Yeah.
classes whenever you want, as long as like you think students will take them, and most of the
Right.
students are based in the US. So you can teach whatever topic you want.
Hmm.
Like you could teach how to tie your shoes, you could teach conversational skills, you could teach algebra, you could teach like any topic you can imagine, and parents make requests for these classes too.
Okay.
um, and you decide. This is what I love about it. You decide like everything. So
Yeah.
you create the classes, like you create the content, you decide how long you want it to be, how many students you want to open it up to, what ages you think your students should be,
Wow.
how much you want to charge for the class, if you want it to be a repeating class, if you want it to be a class where they do work and then they meet up to talk, and then they do work and they meet up, like it's the possibilities are just endless, which I think is so cool.
That's
Um,
great.
so yeah, so I'm really, really excited about OutSchool. Like I said, I've not taught on it yet, but I do have several friends in addition to Lauren,
Hmm.
who have recently started teaching with them and have really had positive experiences. So it's
Great.
cool. Like I feel like VIPKid came at a good time for me because I didn't want to have to create class content, and
Right?
and I was okay with the hours at that point. And
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like it got me into online teaching and it
Hmm.
develops that love for me. But I think every experience that we have really lends itself well to other experiences too. So like I
Definitely.
said, I'm
Yeah.
not leaving VIPKid, but I'm kind of pivoting into this other realm of online teaching. So I'm really excited.
Great. And Tina's link for OutSchool Um, is below in the description or to the side. I don't know where it is during the live.
I don't either, so it's fine. I think on an iPad it's to the no, I don't even know.
Yeah, and yesterday Brooke talked about it too, and hers should be linked if I linked it underneath. If
Oh,
not, I'll do
nice.
that one after this too.
Yeah.
So Brooke's link will be under Brooke and Tina's link will be under Tina videos.
Awesome. And
So
yeah, I see a few questions about Outschool on here too. Do you want
good. Yeah,
me to
let's
answer them?
go for it. Hey guys, if you get a chance and you want to ask a question to me or to Tina, please put it in all caps so we don't miss it. If we miss one, just put it again at the bottom. Let's see. Amy Lou said she wants to go to China with everyone. Woo, let's go to
That sounds
China.
awesome.
Oh, can you tell us about your trip to China? Or do you want to answer Outschool first? I'm like
It
way
doesn't
up in
matter.
the chat. So
Yeah. Well, we can catch up. Like we can go first in, out with the questions.
What's that?
I said first in, first out from my days in medical stuff. Like first supplies in are the first ones that you use. Even if you get newer stuff, you use the old stuff
Okay,
first.
so
So
you're saying
questions in are the first ones.
all
I
right,
answer.
got it. Let's see. I told you my morning is like crazy. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. 25 in the chat. You guys rock. Oh, thanks, Danny. She said give the live a thumbs up.
Smash the thumbs up. That's funny. I've never heard smash the thumbs up
You've
before.
never heard smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Graham Stephan does it on his business one.
Never heard it, but that's fun.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Marianne. She said she can't watch now, but she'll watch it later. She's thinking of us.
Aw, that's sweet.
Hey, Penny, thanks for coming. Where did I see it?
I
Okay.
love Penny.
Do you have to have a teaching degree for Outschool? Let's just go there because that's where.
No. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know where that other stuff went either. But no, you don't have to have any special degrees or certifications. You make them known, whatever degrees and certifications you might have.
Yeah.
But Outschool is more like passion based. So like, you wouldn't have to have a bachelor's degree to teach a 4-year-old how to tie his shoes. So that's why, like, there are different skills that you can teach on there. There are baking classes there. I mean, it's so cool. And it's cool for parents too, who have kids, who maybe they homeschool or their kids are just stuck at home, and they're like, well, I don't know how to, teach you to play Minecraft, but this teacher does, like just the most random classes. It's so cool.
I heard teacher Leah Sparrow is doing how to care for horses.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, you can really teach about anything. So I'm excited.
You don't need
about
a bachelor's degree. Hey, Tara, thanks for coming. Tara, when are you due? Isn't that soon? We're gonna have a VIPKid baby to watch.
Oh,
my kids are 21 and 19, so I have to like watch everybody else's babies. Okay, so why don't you tell us about your trip to China? I don't see another Outschool question on here that we didn't answer already.
Well, yeah, I'm happy to talk about China.
Yes, tell us. We all want to go. So
I went to China. Let me just preface this by saying that I wanted to go to China from like the first VIPKid class that I taught, and it took me like 2 years to get there. So for anybody who's just starting off and is feeling like, you're working really hard, and what if you never get to go? Like, I mean, things are a little different with travel restrictions right now, but just kind of eye on the prize. If that's something that you want, just do things that will hopefully get you there, So anyway, it was several contests of coming in second place that made me really sad, but then when I won, it was extra special. So getting to go to China was the trip of a lifetime. I got to meet 6 of my students, which was really fun. Yeah, we got to invite 6 of them, and I was really humbled that all 6 of them came. And like some of them came by trains. One flew from like the southernmost province in China to Beijing, and it was really, really cool. And it was just such a well done trip, like so organized. Brian Chubei, who's the like organizer for it, he's like a history buff, and he knew people. Like he was just very, very well done. And the group that we went with, including Penny, who's in the chat, was amazing. Yeah, the group, like there was not a single person that was like making it bad for everyone. You know what I mean? Like you kind of fear that when there's a group of like 10 people that, well, surely one of them is going to be a little off, but really, like we were even saying as a group, the one time we were in this van that we went everywhere in, and somebody was like, there is no black sheep in this group. Like everyone is really cool. And so
Oh, that's
anyway,
great.
it was a lot of fun. And, you know, just getting to see things that were so old and beautiful. And
Hmm.
it was just incredible. So I was so yeah, I really hope that you get to go, you know, in your
Yes.
2021 trip that you mentioned. It'll be
Send me back to Asia. I lived in
yeah.
Japan for 7 years and just, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Oh,
We're
that's
all
awesome.
gonna like crash at Tim's house in
Yes,
Malaysia.
in Malaysia.
In
Hope he's got
Malaysia,
room for everybody.
right? Penny said China was amazing. Traveling with Tina was amazing. Oh,
It
that's
was so
great.
much fun.
Oh, Tara said in 5 weeks. She's doing 5 weeks.
Nice.
She's doing amazing. Her walking, she like beats me in steps and everything.
Wow. Good for you,
I'm
Tara.
like, oh.
That's
Wow, I
awesome.
am so off topic.
You're fine. This is your channel. You do it whatever you want.
I know, and that's great.
Yeah, I love it.
So what does your VIPKid schedule still look like? Or you're out, I mean, how are you going to build your schedule, I guess would be,
Yeah.
do you know?
So I'm still figuring that out. I think it'll depend obviously on what I can do, but also
Mhm.
on what students would want. Like I'm not going to host a class for 3 to 5 year olds at 9 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Like it has to make sense. I know that some of our
Right,
students in China would do classes like that,
right.
but you know, so it's part meeting the need. So whatever I think those parents will need and what they will
Hmm.
want for their kids, and then what how that fits into my life too.
Yeah.
And my husband is a hospital pharmacist, and so
Mhm.
his schedule is just kind of all over the place, and he's only getting like a week at a time.
Oh, that's tough.
And so that makes it a little tough, but he's really, really flexible and understanding, and you know, so I'm very thankful for that. He's been very supportive
Yeah.
along the way. So I'm thinking I probably, you know, I do still want to dabble in VIPKid. I haven't taught in a little while in VIPKid,
Okay.
but hopefully I'll teach like at least a couple mornings a week, like one
Hmm.
class or something, just with some of my favorite students, you know. Um, and
You
then
open up classes,
probably,
they're gonna be like,
yeah. And then probably out school in the afternoons, because as much as
Mhm.
possible, and it is possible because it's, you know, I'm in control of the schedule.
Right.
Um, I want to, like, when my husband is off, I want to be off. So
Hmm.
it's just a little tough right now because we don't have a schedule out more than a week.
Yeah.
And I think the types of classes I want to teach would be multi-week classes.
Okay.
Uh, so anyway, I'm just going to have to kind of figure it out, but I'm definitely still very busy with referrals in VIPKid. I
Oh,
have a
good.
lot of people still in the hiring process with that. So that's a good chunk of my day too.
Hmm.
And I don't plan on stopping that because I think VIPKid still is a great fit for so many people
Yeah.
and they're still hiring. So if people want my help and my resources, I'm still available for that. You know, it's just not
Good.
going to be like front and center all day, every day.
Right.
So, yeah,
So your website, is it Teaching in Progress? I have it written in here.
teach in progress.
What'd you say? Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, you're fine. Teachersinprogress.com.
Teachers in Progress. It's linked below. I love your website. I
Thank
like
you.
the picture of you. Is that your student, you and your student in China?
Yeah, Sophia.
Oh, that's such a great picture. I love
She was
it.
so sweet. We were both just totally giddy when we were together. Like we were like skipping and holding hands. Like I
Oh,
felt like I was a kid. It was
aw,
awesome.
so sweet.
Yeah.
So, are you tech savvy? And what technology do you use in your classroom?
So I don't like to pigeonhole myself and be like, no, I'm not tech savvy. But no, I'm not tech savvy. You know, like I everything that I've learned to do with technology, I have learned by trial and error and by
Mhm.
looking up things on YouTube and on Google. Like,
Yeah.
I guess everything I know to do on technology is really self-taught.
Hmm.
So, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Like, I think people get in their minds that like things are really complicated and oh, I could see myself doing that. And it's like it's really not that hard. Like most like YouTube videos, for example, like
Hmm.
it kind of steps you through how to do it when you go to do it. Like
Right.
it'll have where you click to do this and then where you click to do, like, it's kind of hard to mess it up, So I think things, but I mean, I've definitely messed things up too, but trial and error, like I said. But
Just
like
making
my
your link
husband,
and trying to get the time right. I mean,
oh, trust me, I have made mistakes like that
oh,
countless times. But in terms of people like being afraid to try stuff with technology,
right.
it's like you do learn. It's like a skill with anything else. Like
Mhm.
you don't learn to ride a bike by thinking about riding a bike or by watching someone else ride a
Right.
bike. Like you have to get out there and start doing it yourself in order to really like get it down,
Yes.
But my husband laughs at me that I have a YouTube channel because like I literally don't even type with these fingers. I don't know why. I forget who taught me typing, but like I don't know how I passed. I can like barely type
I
well,
only type with these
You
two.
only type. I type without those two fingers. It's very strange, but once my fingers start getting like sore, I know that I need to like stretch them out. You're probably the opposite. You're like,
I know. Help.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm naturally tech savvy, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you are teaching, do you use things like Google Slides and
Oh yeah, you did ask that too.
did I? I don't
So
know.
you said, and what do you use in your classroom? So I do
Yeah,
use
I
Google
did. See?
Slides. You did. I just ignored it. I'm sorry, Kasie. So I do use Google Slides, but I'm a little old school Google Slides in that I just hold it up to my screen.
That's me.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't chosen to dive into like Cam Twist or ManyCam or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because this works for me and I don't teach that many classes that like it's an issue, like my arm would get tired or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is fine and my kids respond well to it. So it's one of those things like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's working
Yeah.
for me. So why would I throw a wrench in it? And that's not to say I'm not willing to adapt and change, but if it's not something that's like causing an issue, I'll
Right.
fine. But I mostly just use Google Slides for rewards. I know a lot of teachers use them for props. I
Yeah.
haven't really done that much. I've done that maybe in a couple of classes. I primarily just use it for rewards.
I'm
I like
opposite.
to use, you the opposite, really?
Hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't have them up right now, but like if I'm doing Find a Star, I have a way to keep track of the numbers like physically behind me. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
okay.
So like I kind of
Very geeky.
incorporate a physical piece to it, but yeah, like that. Yeah, like I would just have the numbers and I'd cover up which ones we've done or I'd uncover the ones we've already done.
Oh,
Right.
neat.
So like it allows me to have flexibility without having to have a ton of reward systems on hand because I have
Yeah.
Google Slides. So that's how I use technology. I show pictures on my phone. I do have some printed out pictures that are handy, but you know, just quickly looking at what the slides are before a class, you can refresh yourself on, oh, I should grab that picture, or I should have that
Right.
picture handy in my phone, like save it as a favorite. I know some people who have different folders on their phone specifically for showing pictures in class, and I haven't
Oh,
really gotten there yet, but
that's a good
but that's
idea.
possible.
I
Yeah.
haven't done the Minicam or Cam Twist or anything because my computer's old. I mean, it's
Mm.
still up to standards, but I'm afraid to add stuff to it.
Yeah, that's another piece too. Like I have I get very cluttered, I will admit, on technology. Like I have a hard time parting with pictures and videos and documents and like I'm like, well, what if I need it in the future? Like so I have
Yeah.
to every now and then go in and clear stuff out because I start maxing out even though I have a pretty big like hard drive, and so anyway, yeah, I worry about that too, with adding just another piece of
Mhm.
technology. Like, man, what if it crashes my computer?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how long does it take you to make a video, to edit it?
So that's kind of a hard question. So, in terms of editing, I don't do much of anything.
Mhm.
In terms of creating the video, I will spend months, weeks, whatever, just coming up with the content. Like, I will
Yeah.
have an idea, but I will kind of let it simmer for like weeks or months before I like start really cranking it down and putting in a script. And then, so there's most of my work when I create a video is upfront. Like
Okay.
I don't enjoy editing videos.
Yeah.
And there was a time when like I saw other videos on YouTube that had all these great graphics and they'd have stuff pop up on the screen and they do this and they do that. And I tried doing that for a while, but it didn't
Mhm.
feel genuine. Like it
Yeah.
didn't feel like it was, it felt like I was trying to be somebody else.
Hmm.
So, but something that people have said that they like about my videos is that they feel like they're sitting down with me and I'm explaining it to them in a way that they can understand. Like it's not
Yeah.
like I don't need the bells and whistles is what people have told me that they like about my videos. So it's like, if that's what people like, and if that's the way that I feel genuine in
Hmm.
making my videos, that's how I'm going to do it. So I don't really do much editing at all. If anything, I might trim a little bit off the ends at this point.
Hmm.
But almost all of the work is just in creating the content for my videos.
I think at one point you talked about doing them in one take.
Yeah.
I think Cindy Bennett said she got that from you, and
Oh
she
yeah.
learned like just get it done in one take, less editing and things
Yeah.
like
I
that. I
mean,
remember.
I guess a misconception about the one take thing is there are many takes, but it's all in one video. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like I will re-record the same video 50 times. But
Uh,
then it's always the last one. Like as soon as I'm satisfied with it, I finish.
I'm done.
But like
Yeah.
when I say one take, like don't think I just record it once because I record it probably 50 to 100 times for each video that I do. And maybe that's a little like anal or something and I should
Yeah.
just let it go. But I'm like, I want to be sure that if I'm producing something, that it is something that is going to be wild for people. And so
Hmm.
if I'm not happy about it, I don't want to put it out there for other people.
Yeah.
And it's not like it has to be perfect because that's sometimes I've gone through lulls where I haven't really made videos because I've like fallen into this perfectionism trap, which throughout my whole life I've fallen into that. And it's like I
Uh,
won't put it out until it's absolutely perfect. Now it just has to be helpful enough that I'll put it out.
right.
You
I'm
know?
very opposite. Like what you see is what you get. I'm like, here I am. This is me. Here's my video. I just did it today. I mean, I make
That's
sure the
awesome.
content is correct. That is
Yeah.
big for me. But as far as mistakes and stuff,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as long as the content is good, Kasie, I'm on the same page with you. Like, I have definitely like bumped my computer while I've been recording a video,
Mhm.
or, I get really, my mouth gets really dry when I'm doing
Start
videos.
cough.
So sometimes I'm like, like I just have to like grab a drink. Thankfully, I have like this throat spray now that helps a lot. But
Oh,
like, I just, yeah, I'm with you. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's helpful and the content is solid,
mhm.
you
I
know?
think one of my favorite videos that you've done recently was why you're not passing your mock.
Mm,
Is that the one? Like it's
yeah.
so like to the point, kind of I love it. I don't know.
Well, thank you.
It
Yeah.
I'm the closest friends to me are like friends that can tell like it is. You know what I mean? Because I don't know when people are mad at me or something because I'm always like,
Yeah.
"Yay, everybody's happy." So I like things that are straight to the point because then
Yeah.
it.
It's refreshing. It's
Yeah.
refreshing, like spilling water on your shirt. No, it's
Right? I
refreshing
did
when
change.
people, yeah, I know. When people like give it to you straight, though, like I don't know. I find that to be very refreshing, and so that's what I try to that's
Yeah.
what I try to deliver too. It doesn't do anybody any good just to make them feel good about something when they know
Right.
that it's not genuine.
I
You know?
should have rewatched it because if I remember correct, you did mention about like if you're told to do it again, it's like practice for your job coming up. Wasn't
Yeah,
that was part of your
absolutely.
video? And I've used that for people that have been
Good.
complaining. I'm like, you're like getting free practice and you're becoming a
Yeah.
better teacher every time a new mentor tells you to work on something. So
Right.
thank you
And
for
it's
that.
like, yeah, I mean, like, really, would you rather be making these mistakes for a mentor who can give you advice to
Hmm.
help you fix it? Or would you rather make those mistakes for a student whose parents could give you a one apple and there goes there goes your ranking, your rating,
Right.
you know? It's like get the jitters and the mistakes out now, not so that you're
Mhm.
perfect because we're never perfect, but so that you are confident and you can just like roll with it because you've done enough classes to be confident, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So
Good. Danny said she wants to see the Terracotta Warriors. Yes, that'd be
yes, that
so
sounds
cool,
awesome.
Danny. It has been so cool that we have continued to stay close through WeChat. We also have been sharing some students now. Oh, you and Penny?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It's funny because a lot of times we didn't even know that our students were going to start taking classes with each other, and so then
Huh?
we just like see it in the teacher to teacher back, or somebody would be like, hey, isn't this your student Tom who we saw at the banquet? You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're teaching Tom now too. So yeah, that's been really funny.
Let's see. Girl, the struggle is real lately with all this time at home. Oh, Tara. So Mindy asked if you're still a brand ambassador for VIPKid. Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
I know some people just joined, but I feel like the program kind of just fizzled out. Like it doesn't seem to be happening anymore. So as far as I know, I don't think anybody has re-signed the contract, because the contract basically made it sound like the program was going away.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think that program's really happening right now. Not to say it won't happen again in the future, but seems to be on hold.
Yeah, and Mindy, she hasn't been teaching with VIPKid for a little bit. She just moved and new house, internet issues, and she still loves VIPKid. She's still team VIPKid. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Danny. They deserve a thumbs up. Oh, thanks, Cindy. All right, let's see. I don't see the thumbs up symbol. Oh, thanks, Danny explained that one. You guys rock. Genuine and to the point. We like that, Tina. I know. That's why I love her videos too.
Thanks, Danny.
I love how Tina doesn't sugarcoat things and tells it like it is. See? We like that, Tina. Keep coming with those videos like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Lauren.
What is the length of videos you all like to watch most? Oh, I guess that's to everybody in general in the chat. Oh, what do you think? When you're going on to YouTube, what?
Honestly, it depends what kind of video I'm looking for, you know, like
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go and I'll watch a sermon or something that I'm fine with it being 20 minutes long if I'm like washing dishes or something. But like sometimes if I just want to see how to do this mailing list thing in YouTube, I don't want anything more than a 2-minute video.
Right.
You know, so I think it really depends on the type of content I'm looking for. I think for most like VIPKid related videos, I would agree that like 12 minutes is a pretty sweet spot, as Danny said, but it really depends, because some videos people are fine with hanging around longer, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it gets too long, it's good to split it into 2 videos. So it really just depends on what the video is about, I think, and your audience and what they want.
My how-to videos, I try to make them like 5 or less than 5. But my interviews, guys, and the collaboration, I know the collaboration station ones go for a while, but we all have such good conversation. It's just, I love it.
Awesome.
But my husband has an idea of coming up to fix some of the, I don't know. We'll see if he gets it done.
Yeah. Hey, I've seen your website. He's very talented. So.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Shout out to him. Teaching with Kasie.com. My husband has made that website. I have nothing to do with it other than it's my pictures.
It looks awesome.
Let's see. Danny said, I love her video about being patient and taking workshops while waiting. Best advice ever. Is that an older one, Tina?
I think I've mentioned that in a couple different videos. So I think that probably was in an older one, though, if I had to guess.
Let's see. Danny, closed chat. Still don't see it. A list of other videos replaces the spot where the chat was. So let's see. I think they're helping her. But Janice, there's a little arrow. So there's a little arrow right underneath our pictures. Oh, I guess I can like show you, huh? Can you see it? Oh, my light's in the way. Okay, so there's a little arrow right here that can make you toggle between like what we're saying, and then the chat should be over here. But here is where you can go to like the video. I don't know if I helped or not, but if you X out of the chat, underneath, there's another box right here underneath us that says live chat. You should be able to just click it and get right back in it. So, Danny, I think as long as it's engaging, the length of the video doesn't matter. Love to hear any YouTube advice Tina has.
Man, that's such a loaded question. Whenever people ask me a question, I'm like, well, what are you trying to get out of it? You know, like I'm always trying to like make sure it fits that person.
Well, I guess thing is we're all at different stages.
Right.
So for her,
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
over 1,000 monetized already, but for some of us in the chat, we're not there yet. So pretty much any advice you give will hit somebody.
yeah. I would say always make videos with your audience in mind. Like, I know a common mistake that people make, that I see people make, is they'll just like make a random video that doesn't really serve a purpose. Like, that sounds harsh, but they'll just like post a random video that like has a random title, and it's like, well, that's not searchable. Like, people forget sometimes that YouTube is a search engine, right?
Yeah.
It's owned by Google. And so like, even if you Google something, you'll see some YouTube videos pop up.
Mhm.
So like, making your videos searchable is really, really important. Like, when I was my first video I ever made was about interview tips for VIPKid, because
Oh,
in my previous job, I had been a manager of a medical facility, and I was responsible for like all of the hiring and HR stuff, like all of
oof.
the scheduling, like basically people.
Yeah.
Um, and so I got really good at interviewing people. Like, I interviewed probably over 1,000 people throughout the
Oh,
years,
wow.
And so um, I felt like I could share some interview tips, and I thought that was something that was kind of lacking in the VIPKid realm.
Yeah.
Like, now there are so many videos on YouTube about VIPKid, and I'm not saying that there's not space for new people.
Right.
I think there definitely is, if you tap into the right kinds of videos and the right things that people are looking for.
Hmm.
Um, but I really wasn't seeing anybody, like, the videos that were on YouTube at the time were very, like, this is a walkthrough, this is how you look like a VIPKid teacher, like, it was very like, and I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing in any way, because those videos were very successful and I love the ladies who made those videos.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like there was anyone coming out with like this businessy side to it, where
Hmm.
somebody was going to give you strategic steps to do something and not make it just say this on this slide, say that on that slide, but to actually like equip people with tools that they could apply to other things. Like,
Okay.
I'm very much of the mindset, like, teach someone to fish, don't just give someone a fish.
Yes. Yes.
And
What is it? Give a fish, feed them for a day, teach them
yeah,
to fish, feed them for a lifetime. Or I'm
yeah,
sure I totally messed
exactly.
that up, but it's close.
Yeah. So there are definitely people who just want to see an example of something. And I have a couple of videos like that too. But
Hmm.
like, I really saw that there was a need for something a little bit different. So I would say, tips starting out with YouTube, see where you feel that there's a lack, where, you might see a lot of videos that all kind of look the same, have the same titles, and maybe they will be successful if you throw another one of the same in there. But
Hmm.
it's better if you can kind of diversify it a little bit, but also keep it searchable, right?
Okay.
So like, if you were just to say VIPKid tips, like, that might be too vague to catch anybody.
Right.
Even if you say, VIPKid tips for passing the interview with confidence, or I don't know, I'm just making something up. But,
Right.
like, you have to get a little bit specific, but think about also what's searchable.
Hmm. And there's
So,
ways to search now too, like TubeBuddy and stuff has it, so they'll
yeah,
tell you how it is.
absolutely.
Um,
That's a great
Jay
tool.
Young, hey Jay, thanks for joining us.
Oh,
Online
nice.
teacher dude Tim made a great video the other day about YouTube. Yeah, he did.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check
Um,
that out.
let's see. Hi Jay, enjoyed your interview. Cool. Jay said, Christina, hey, it's great to see you. You are still putting out great info.
Oh, thanks,
Danny
Jay.
said, I hope she makes videos about her new job also.
Okay, if that's what you want. I
I
wasn't
feel some
sure if I wanted to dip my toe in that yet, but if people want it, I guess maybe I'll entertain that.
I feel some out school videos coming up.
Woo! Okay.
Jay said that is what drew me into your content. Let's see. That makes me think about those referrals who don't pass or never teach a class after passing. You can lead a horse to water. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Let's see.
The
So,
follow
do you
through is
have a
important.
favorite teaching moment or funny
Yeah.
story?
I remember, so my student Tom, he's one of the ones that I got to meet in
Uh-huh.
Beijing. Um, and he was so shy, like painfully shy when I started
Oh,
teaching him.
yeah.
And he was one of my first students, like back in, I think August of 2017 or something. I started teaching him, like I was a new teacher. And he just was very shy. And I quickly kind of got why he was shy, because his mom was very like, like she was answering for him. She was slapping his wrist. She was, not actually, but she was
Right.
correcting before I even got the chance to, and so he just kind of like was shut down and he didn't want to try. So that's the student he was when I started teaching him. And it certainly wasn't all my doing, but over time, I think the mom started to trust me as a teacher more and started to kind of like back off a little bit.
Yeah.
And mom started to gain that confidence. And I just remember the one class, like I asked him something and I heard the mom start to teach, and then I heard Tom start to reply, and I heard Tom say, I think, and then he gave his answer, and I was like, you go, Tom, yes, you shut your mom down. But I absolutely adore his mom. Like we hung out in Beijing, like we had some free time. Every now and then we'd have like a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And so we went to a park, and it was kind of funny because, my Chinese is very minimal. And his mom's English is better than she thinks it is. Like she just has confidence issues herself, but we were like sitting on a park bench and just like passing Google Translate back and forth. And like, it was just really funny. But yeah, anytime that I see a student just gain confidence is always my biggest, like, it's great if the student gets, a grammatical concept or something and is improving in the speech, but the confidence is the piece that I like to see the most.
I'm teaching a university professor's child right now.
Wow.
So
no pressure.
I was a little overwhelmed when I heard, but she lets her try everything. But the minute she makes a mistake, she corrects it quick. But she'll let her sound everything out. But if like this morning, A for the, and her mom was quick to correct that. But
so she's got half of the piece there.
Yes, but I love how she lets her try it all. She's she's great. 5 reading these sentences and stuff. She's great.
It's amazing.
Oh, somebody had told me to ask you, I don't remember when, because this is when I first started talking to you. Have you met some CEOs of VIPKid?
Yes, I have. And so at Chicago Journey, the Journey in Chicago, there was a group of us that was going to get to meet Cindy Me. And everyone else in the group had already met her because everyone else in the group had already won the China trip. So I already felt like an outsider, right? But then, like we were in this room and they brought Cindy in and I started bawling my eyes out. It was so, like, I look back now and I'm like, that was so ridiculous that I cried at that. But like, I was just so overwhelmed by emotion because, I had grown to love my students so much and to like build my own business around helping other people to learn to love their students too. And so like just thinking of like, as soon as I saw her, I saw like all the faces of the people who I've helped and who I know are now teaching and loving their students. And it was just like, everything kind of felt like it was culminating in that moment. And I just felt very indebted to her. Not like she was a savior by any means, but like just that she had this vision and she went with it and she cared enough to meet the teachers. And so I bawled like a baby when I met her. I like went to shake her hand and she just hugged me.
Aww,
awesome. So yes, I met Cindy, and then when we were in China in August, we went to this dumpling making class in a hutong, which was so cool. And there was this one empty seat and we were, kind of getting our workspaces ready to start making these dumplings. And we were like, why are we saving that seat? And in walks Jessie Chen. So she, a co-founder. So she dumplings with us and spent like the whole evening with us. And she had just gotten back from the trip like that day, and so like basically to be there with us. And she was just down to earth. And I did not, when I met her, I think I was just like on a cloud 9 being, with the awesome group of teachers and everything. But yeah, so I have met Jessie and Cindy and they're both really awesome.
Great. Very good. Brooke said, tell Tina I love her one-take approach to a lot of videos. We were just talking about that a little bit ago, Brooke. Yes, Brooke was on here yesterday. Let's see. Yes, I want videos about Outschool Journey.
All right, all right.
Mhm.
I hear
So
you.
Tina's gonna make some, and shout out to Brooke. I know she's already got one. She posted it
Awesome.
yesterday. I think it was
Cool.
yesterday. Um, she said Tina wears her heart on her sleeve. Third idiom of the day. You are on a roll,
She
Danny.
is. She is on a roll. I love idioms and puns, so just keep them coming.
Hey guys, Danny gave us a shout out this morning, but I love shouting out her channel too because it's VIPKid, but it's also a lot of outside and gardening, and I don't know. I love those videos. Except
Yeah,
the two in
that's
the
awesome.
car, I feel so bad.
Aw.
He's had 2 power outages, and are you watching from your car, Danny, or did your phone charge enough?
Oh man, I hope she's got it now.
I know. Well, she was in her car charging her phone when I last talked to her. Amy Lou said, "What do you think are the top mistakes new or veteran teachers make?" Ooh, Amy,
That's a great
good
question.
question.
I feel like that's really two different questions because new and veteran teachers make very different mistakes. So I guess new teachers, I would say I see people giving up too early or not giving it their all and
Mhm.
getting in a negative headspace. So, just real talk, like VIPKid does not guarantee you any bookings. So,
Yeah,
like, obviously, it's a lot of work to get hired. So, you hope that there's a payoff. But at the end of
right,
the day, VIPKid does not guarantee that. Now, would they hire somebody with no intention of them getting classes? Obviously not, or they wouldn't invest money in getting them hired.
right.
But I think a lot of times new teachers, like if things don't just immediately work, they start giving up or they start making excuses or they start, and it's like, you just if it's not working, change your approach, like
Hmm.
there's always more that you can be doing. So sometimes I'll see people who will post something on Facebook and be like, I've been with VIPKid for this long and I've got 0 bookings and this. And then like I'll one-on-one ask that person, like, what are you doing? And I'll come to find out that they've not actually opened a single slot,
Oh,
or they've opened slots, but they're at random times, or they're just scattered and they're not consistent across the weeks. Or,
yeah,
like there's always, I feel, something that's missing,
yeah,
um, that sometimes somebody else needs to point out to that person. I feel like deep down people kind of know for themselves what they're missing,
yeah,
but maybe they're not willing to come to terms with that. So I think, yeah, new teachers, they tend to get discouraged very quickly, and they tend to have that confirmation bias. So like if they're thinking, oh, I don't get any bookings, and then they Google VIPKid no bookings, and so they start finding information about no bookings, so it becomes more real to
hmm,
them, then they get discouraged and they stop opening so many slots, and it's like they're creating their own problem. you
yeah.
know
I
when
agree.
Yeah, so I would say new teachers, that tends to be a problem I see, is that they create problems that are not necessarily their problems to create, and they don't give their full effort and they don't adjust what they're doing. I
Yeah,
think not adjusting what you're doing is a problem I see with veteran teachers too. So, some veteran teachers have seen no differences in their bookings or anything, and they're fine. But some veteran teachers start to see a lull after some time,
yeah.
and it's like, when the market no longer wants what you're selling, you change what you're selling a little
Change it.
bit. Like, you don't go become a new teacher, but maybe you need to open classes at a different time, or you need to
Hmm.
get an additional certification, or like there's
Yeah,
always more that you can be doing. So I think being willing to pivot, because sometimes I think veteran teachers get a little stuck in their ways. It's just
hmm,
like, you got to treat it like you're a new teacher trying to figure it out. If things aren't working, pretend you're new again.
yeah.
you know
I
not
went
that hard.
back and watched some of my trial lessons because I went in
Yeah.
September and I had great, like 19 conversions in the 1 month. And then I stopped having so many. And two things. One is I was like the last teacher on a lot of them in September,
Mm.
but I wasn't as excited and animated as I was when I
Yeah.
first started. So I went back and had to remember, like,
Yeah.
um,
It can be
it's,
helpful to rewatch for sure.
yeah. I know I'm not the one answering questions, but for me, I'm kind of, I guess I'm a veteran, but I'm less than a year. But I would say, I think sometimes the veterans become negative or even new
Mm.
teachers, and it breeds negativity. Negativity, is that what I'm saying? But I
Absolutely.
think positive speaking brings positive vibes. And I think partly some people are just talking themselves into negative results. So I think that's kind
Yeah.
of what you're saying too, is you kind of make it your own that way.
Absolutely. This is something, so there's a newer Facebook group that I lead called the VIPKid Christian Fellowship and Bible Studies.
Oh,
And
yep.
that's something we were just talking about. I just posted something yesterday that somebody else in the group had shared with me, the quote, "You steer where you stare."
Oh,
Right? You steer where you stare. So like if you
uh-huh.
are looking for negativity, you're going to find it, right? Like but if you
Yeah,
got your eye on the prize, whatever that prize might be for you, like you're going to head toward that goal. But if you
right.
start looking to the side and you start, entertaining all this negativity and, oh, but look at this drama over here, look at that drama over there,
Uh-huh.
you're just not on track anymore. So it's like you just got to put on your blinders and you steer where you stare. So I
Right.
think maybe that would be helpful.
That's great. I love that quote. And guys, her the Facebook group for Christians is what I wrote. It's linked here also. I don't know if mine is on here, but I have a website for a collaboration station. It's called VIPKid Collaboration Station, unofficial,
Nice.
unofficial group. So if you want more videos like this or to find out what other videos we have, that's where our collaborations go. All the levels are in there so far, and we're starting to take requests now. So that's been a lot
That's
of fun.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. That's a great teacher and student moment.
Oh,
Good
I
reason to
love
always have.
Kimberly.
Yes. Hi,
Kimberly, I met
Kimberly.
her in Georgia. She's awesome.
You met her where?
In Georgia. So there's
Oh,
an unofficial Georgia conference for teachers.
oh,
And
nice.
Penny and I actually both spoke at that conference back in January. And so anyway, I got to meet Kimberly there and she was like super sweet. And we ate lunch
Oh,
together and it was
great.
like one of the highlights of my weekend. But
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Danny said, good reason to have a mentor. Does OutSchool have a referral program? Brooke. Yes, I have Brooke's and Tina's referral codes. So they're both going to be below their videos. Let's see.
appreciate that.
Jay said it's so important to invite bad feedback and evolve from it. So if you get bad feedback, learn from it, I think is what he's saying.
Sounds
If
good.
not, correct me, Jay. How do you use props? Are you a prop queen, a minimalist? I can't talk today.
You're fine. You've probably
Positivity,
talked a lot already
negativity,
today.
minimalist. You know what I'm trying to
Um,
ask.
I do. So I would say when I started out with VIPKid, I had a million props and it looked really crazy in there. And now I'm much more of a prop minimalist. I realized, in moving 2 times since I've been a VIPKid teacher that I didn't use 9/10 of the
Oh.
stuff that I had set out. Like it was kind of like my cluttered computer. Like it was kind of there in case I needed it, but like I never needed it. So, I kind of get things out. Like my typical workspace has like some basic stuff set out, but then I have other
Mhm.
stuff kind of tucked away that like if I see that I have a class about something very random and specific, I can go and grab it before the class starts, as opposed to having a very cluttered workspace.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've become more minimalistic with my props over time, but I
Yeah.
definitely had every prop you could imagine. When I was a new
Mhm.
teacher, I just kept printing stuff and laminating and like going to
Yes.
yard sales, and it looked like, a toy store in my in my
I
classroom.
still do it.
Oh man.
But I was a kindergarten teacher for the last 10 years. So a lot of stuff I just pull from my garage.
There you go.
I have all the Eric Carle books and all of
Oh, I
the,
love those.
the Cole's Cares for Kids. So you
Yeah.
get the
Like
book
$5.
and the plush well, my whole classroom, I had cabinets and I had these all. So I've got bear
Aw,
covered, I've got polar bear, I've got, monkey, all from
that's
all of these,
awesome,
you
Casey.
know, but that's
I
just
love
from 10
that.
years of kindergarten.
That's amazing.
Let's see. Where thoughts go, energy flows. Yes. Brooke said she would love to be in your Christian group. So
Oh,
the
awesome.
link is
Yeah.
below.
So, just to clarify about that, there are a couple of different groups. So there's
Okay.
one bigger VIPKid Christian group that I don't lead. But that one is more VIPKid focused. Like people will ask questions about teaching and that kind of thing. The group
Mhm.
that I lead is like specifically for fellowship. So like VIPKid
Okay.
ties us together, but it's not a space for asking VIPKid related questions. It's more like, I came across this verse in scripture that really helped me this morning, and somebody posting, the scripture. Or like we do Zoom calls twice a week.
Mhm.
We might do it 3 times a week, because I had a survey sent out to the teachers who were in the group, and one of them said I would love to lead on a Saturday. So
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
right now we have 2 different meetings that we do a week. We go through a Bible study in the Bible app.
Mhm.
And so it's just a really cool way, like we have VIPKid in common, and that's kind of how we got to know each other, and that's something we can relate about.
Yeah.
But like at a different level, like we're not necessarily focusing on VIPKid, so it's
Yeah.
it's it's a really, really cool group, a really special group of people. I think I created the group on like April 15th or something, so it's a fairly new group.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really sweet group of people, so it's fun.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
Let's see.
anybody's welcome to check it out.
Sydney said, it sounds like you're not afraid to ask for feedback, whether you think
Mm.
it'll be good or bad, right, Jay? If you only ever hear good feedback, you'll get comfortable.
Yeah.
The stare quote reminded me of another one. It's okay to glance in the rearview mirror, just don't stare. Oh, I have never heard of that one before.
I like that. Makes
Or
sense.
adjust your teaching and flexibility with each student. Woohoo! Finally, a minimalist. I consider myself a minimalist. I think Candy Addicted is also a minimalist. I think so, Amy. We'll
Okay,
have to get with her later.
that's cool.
Jay said he always lets parents know what that feedback doesn't have to be positive. If I'm not meeting a need or changing my approach, would be better for their child to honestly give it. We only grow from honesty.
Hmm.
Stephanie, her feedback video is amazing. Filing the shape model. Filling the shape. It's probably me that I'm not reading this right.
I think she's just
Following
referring to my feedback video. But thank
the
you. I'm happy to know
shape
that's
model.
helpful.
What's the shape model?
Well, you have to go check it out.
So that's
it's
part of your video.
Yeah, it's basically a template for writing feedback. So yeah, I think it's called How to Write Feedback. I think I forget when I made that video, probably at least 6 months to a year ago.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
one of the favorites among my referrals, like in terms of hired teacher helpful videos. At
Great.
least that's what they tell me.
Good. Let's see. Janice is going to go check out your Facebook group too. Perfect. Thanks for explaining that. Do I
Awesome.
need an invite? Or are there
No,
questions
you
they
can.
answer?
Yeah, be sure that you answer the questions.
Mhm.
In the questions, there's a note to send me an email. I have a different email address for the Christian fellowship purposes.
Okay.
And so basically, I just ask people to send me an email. It can just say like, hi in the subject line,
Mhm.
so that you basically, when I email back with links to come to our fellowship calls and things like that, it doesn't bounce.
Yeah.
Because I ran into that issue that I was, this thing was growing pretty fast. And so I would send out an email with all of these links, like, here's how you join our Bible study in the Bible app. Here's how you join our fellowship call on Tuesday, on Wednesday, like all of these different links. And it would just bounce right back to me because they thought
Yeah.
I was spamming people. But so people just have to email me first at the email address. But so anybody who wants to join, just, follow the link in the video here. Or you can search VIPKid Christian Fellowship on Facebook and it should come up for you.
Good. Let's see. Lauren said, Kasie, I'm a kindergarten teacher too, been teaching 22 years, but my 6th year in kindergarten. Oh, I love it. Carrie, thank you. I need to leave now. Bye, Carrie. Thank you so much for
Bye,
coming.
thanks for being here.
What is your highest viewed YouTube video?
I don't know that off the top of my head, so let me pull that up and see if I can.
See, you can read ahead of me. You're fast.
See if I can read that or find that.
Oh, Cindy said hello. Cindy, I was just talking about you. Rough morning and still coming to lives. You rock.
Oh,
She her computer wasn't working this morning, but I don't know if you know
man.
Cindy. Cindy is in charge of the iPad group. So I'm sure you've seen her in
Yeah,
our groups.
Cindy Bennett.
Cindy Bennett. She's in
Yeah,
charge
she's
of the
awesome.
iPad group, and luckily her iPad was ready to go
Ooh,
this morning.
that's
I think
good.
Teacher Kelly was yesterday or today. Her iPad saved her.
Wow.
We all
iPads for the
message.
win.
I know, we all message each other like, the iPad just saved me again.
So I have my most popular videos pulled up.
Okay.
Actually, one that's most popular was the hiring process in 2018.
Wow.
But besides that, VIPKid interview and demo tips, and then top props, profile, rewards. So, I mean, at
Mine's
this
like a
point, my
theme.
channel's all VIPKid, but I guess I'll be transferring into some OutSchool.
Right? I'm. I don't know. I don't. I'm so loyal. Like even my nail place. Like I'm so bad. Even I'm so bad that even if I didn't like the way my hair was cut, I'll feel guilty and go back. That's not the lady I have
I've
now,
been
or
the
something.
same.
But
I've been the same way. It's just, yeah, I kind of came to a point, and for those who are just joining us or who just joined us, I'm not leaving VIPKid.
yes.
I just started with another company called OutSchool. I felt the same way, Kasie, and that's why I didn't like branch out into companies until like this week.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it felt like I was betraying VIPKid or like betraying the hand that fed me, because like I've very happy with VIPKid and I didn't want anything to rock that boat.
Right.
But I think sometimes it's worth checking out what else is out there. Like you
Yeah.
are not married to VIPKid. We're independent
Right.
contractors. There's no non-compete, So if you
Right.
can find something that maybe would be a better fit, it's not like I have any issues with VIPKid as a company. I absolutely adore VIPKid. I think it's amazing.
Right.
It just came to a point where I was tired of the curriculum and not having as much flexibility in what I got to teach. And I was tired of the schedule.
Yeah.
Like you kind of are under the confines of what VIPKid wants you to teach. Like you have flexibility with it and how you do it, but and then the hours, there's nothing you can do about that,
Right.
besides go with a different company. And for the longest time, I was cool with teaching early morning or hours. Like that worked for me. It just kind of came to a point where it's like, that doesn't work for me anymore, but so you just kind of pivot and adjust as you go. So I hope that's encouraging to you, Kasie. Like you can still love VIPKid and also branch out a little bit.
And it's funny because with finances, I know the smart thing to do is diversify anyway. Like I know that that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
So, but I really haven't made
It's hard
time to do
that,
anything
though.
else.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need to, so.
Right. Let's see. Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day, everybody. Yay.
Yes.
Sunday?
Yeah,
I did already
Sunday.
send my Mother's Day stuff out, but I can't say it on here because my mom watches sometimes. She doesn't talk in the chat though. I think it is amazing how out of all the many groups I could have found, the Lord led me to find a group of Christian teachers.
Aw, I'm happy to hear that.
That's Ellen. Great.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, we are on the last three questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you still okay on time? It's like after 10.
Yeah, I'm good.
After 10 my time.
Quarantine, I'm good.
True, right? Okay, so I actually have one more before that.
Sure.
But I don't know if this still pertains. I think it does though. But this is from another teacher. How have the new rules affected your recruiting? So when we first talked about this, it was back when they just took away California, and then the new rules with the new affiliate program and stuff. Do you have a minute to answer that first?
Yeah. So, I mean, it didn't affect my referral business as much as I thought it would. I mean, it's like the California piece, that's really sad because I know a lot of people who would be fantastic VIPKid teachers who just can't get hired because they're in California. It's like just really unfortunate. But so I've definitely I've not been seeing teachers from California, or, some of them have kind of, if they applied, this is so bad, but if they applied way before that restriction was put into place, and let's say they already did the demo, they might even get through a mock class, and then when they go to submit their documents, get told they can't do it. And that just totally breaks my heart. So I hate to see that. So I think education is key there, trying to like in one of my update videos, I talked about California. I don't want to scare people and be like, oh my gosh, like make it way out of proportion. But at the same time, I want people to hear that if they're in California, this is a no-go. So like some things that I do to check for that, like sometimes I will block my number and get on the phone with my referrals. And if I always check their area code. And if it's a California one, I ask them before I even get on the phone with them. Or I'll ask them and then get on the phone with them and tell them over the phone that, sorry, this isn't going to work for you. But, and like Facebook profiles, if I see that they're living in California, I will ask them before they even get far, But anyway, besides California, like the restrictions, honestly, it feels like to me, the main purpose of VIPKid implementing those new restrictions was to cut down on things like paid advertisements, that would pop up above VIPKid and the use of VIPKid's name. Like it seemed like that was more of the issue than anything else. So I have still continued to make helpful content for people and to support my referrals and to share about VIPKid within my circles. So I guess in that sense, it hasn't changed that much. I do now, probably the most complicated part of what I do is that I have 2 different trackers. So I have the referral tracker and I have the affiliate tracker, and it's really complicated. Like I love the affiliate tracker, but there's no code for it. So people have to like find me first kind of thing, or like if they choose to reapply, whatever, but it gets kind of like murky. And so then it's like I have to figure out which tracker the person's in, and like this tracker tells me this information, that one doesn't, and it gets a little crazy. So anyway, I have to kind of rely a little bit more on my referrals filling me in on things sometimes, because like if they're in my old tracker, I'm not going to see it. Like if they move on to something, like certain things just don't show up. Their email address doesn't show up. So like unless they contact me, I have no way of knowing who they are. So it's like, like just yesterday, I got someone who finally contacted me like at the end of the hiring process, but had been my referral the whole time. And I was like, I am so sorry. Like I couldn't see you in my tracker. And it just, so anyway, I guess that's kind of affected things, like the tracker getting more limited usability, which is why I really encourage people to use my affiliate link. Like the tracker's better. I can actually see your email address, So anyway, I guess those are some changes I've been feeling.
Let's see. Sydney wants to know why is VIPKid not accepting people from California? It's a California law, not for VIPKid. They're not doing certain independent contractor things. I guess that would be the easiest way to explain it, because the law is a whole different, thing.
Yeah.
But
it basically, I think it was House Bill 5, and it was intended to hold companies responsible for the well-being of the people they depend on for work. So like companies like Uber, who like they can't operate if there are no drivers, right? And like, in theory, like VIPKid can't really operate as the business that they advertise without teachers, right? So like it was, from my understanding, like these companies that really depended on their independent contractors like consistently. Like it wasn't just, I'll hire somebody to do one little odd job for me, but it's more like I need this person to continue showing up for me. Like California, the legislators, like they wanted to protect those people and get them certain rights that employees have. But in my opinion, it seems to have backfired a little bit, because now companies are not partnering with people from California. And so they're not getting any work at all, so kind of from my understanding what that House bill did.
Cindy said she loves your background. She thinks it's great that you branched out, especially for your energy to branch out. And
appreciate that.
On average, how much time do you spend on VIPKid outside of a 25-minute classroom?
That's really complicated. It depends on the day. It depends on whether my internet's working that day. It depends,
Right.
So I would say on referral stuff, I still am spending a few hours a day on that. And I do have help. I have an assistant who is amazing. Her name is Lisa. And she was one of my hired referrals like 2 years ago. And she just always stood out to me as someone who was more helpful than necessary, kinder than necessary, like the exact kind of person I wanted to have on my team. So anyway, Lisa helps out with a lot of the day-to-day things, like she will send out welcome emails if we see new people pop up in my affiliate tracker and we have their
Okay.
email address. She'll reply to like basic emails and she'll sign them, them as Lisa. She needs to let them know that it's Lisa.
Right.
But like, if somebody just says, how do I link up with you? Or like
Hmm.
simple questions like that don't necessarily require me.
Yeah.
She's like all of it. So she helps out so much. I mean, with my email inbox and with
Hmm.
Facebook and just everything. We used to do Zoom coaching, like for
Yeah.
referrals. So we would do that for several hours a week. And eventually it came to a point where it wasn't really necessary anymore. And a lot of people were not able to join us at the times that we were
Oh yeah.
available to do it. So we ended up just recording the sessions and then making them available as like on-demand sessions on my website under
Okay.
like a password protected page, so that they still have those resources, but they can watch them whenever they want,
Right.
and so anyway, Lisa has helped me to kind of stay afloat with those kinds of
Yeah.
things. If Lisa were not helping me, I know that I would be spending a lot more time on just like those little tasks that kind of
Hmm.
eat away your day. But I'm so thankful to have her. So
She's
yeah,
great.
she's amazing.
She's
Yeah.
emailed me a couple of times, like at the beginning when I was first contacting you. Like,
Oh yeah.
she will get with you. She's moving or
Yeah.
whatever. She's
She's
busy right now.
quick.
She will get to you. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't even know I'd get an email back, but thanks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was
So
awesome.
she's awesome.
Micah. Micah said
What's
he
yours say?
blames Rika Russell
Oh, for what?
for the California law, I think.
Oh, that seems
We're
unfair.
telling her.
Oh,
Actually, I would love to have her on here. She's so much fun.
yeah, she is. Oh, Tim
Tim.
just joined us.
Hey,
That's
Tim.
awesome.
I may have mentioned you earlier.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the online VIP kid world without talking about teacher Tim.
Right? I
Yeah.
told I told them I was going to a couple of us were going to go visit in Malaysia.
That's awesome. I was listening to Tim's podcast this morning, his interview with, oh no, it was, sorry, back up. It was teacher Michael's
Michael.
podcast that
Hmm.
Tim was interviewing on. So
Oh,
that was
fun.
really cool.
Hmm.
So little shout out to teacher Michael because this podcast, extra credit, is a lot of.
Yes. I need to listen to his podcast. I've reached out to him too. I love his like puppets, and I watched
He's so
his video when I
entertaining.
was making my intro video, but if you've seen my intro video, I laugh at it now, but I'm afraid to change it because it
If it
works.
works, don't change it. Keep
Oh,
it
it's
over
bad.
there.
It's bad. You guys can go back and watch it. It's 20 seconds. It's like my very first video. It's pretty funny.
Mine, I thought it was going to be a filler video. Like I was just excited to get my if you get intro video in there
Uh-huh.
that I just like, I mean, same thing. Like I did it all in one take, but probably tries, right? So like, but like once it's in there, like the lighting was terrible. It wasn't in my
Mhm.
analyzed classroom. Like
Yeah.
I looked a little crazy, but it got me the students. So change it if it's working.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So did we already answer, or did you answer what are some qualities of a good teacher?
No, I don't think we answered. Well, I feel like we kind of touched on it in another question, but qualities of a good teacher, I think adapting for your
Hmm.
students' needs is really, really important. Like, um, a lot I do is help people with their teaching skills. Like, sometimes my referrals will send me a video of them teaching when they're trying to pass their mock class. And like, I will either video them back or I'll type back comments to them. And it's like a lot of times, like it's kind of hard to judge in something like that where it's just a recorded video, whether they're actually adjusting for their student. But like,
Yeah.
that's such an important piece is like it's not just you coming in and you like this is what I'm going to say and I have this script and I'm not veering from the script. It's like really
Right.
a give and take. Like if your student needs more time on something, take that
Hmm.
time. If your student is breezing through, don't spend any extra time on that. Like
Yeah.
I think good teachers adapt for their students really well. I think good teachers are extraordinarily encouraging to their students, especially like our VIPKid students. I think a lot of times they don't get a lot of positive reinforcement or positive
Yeah.
encouragement, especially in an academic setting. So
Mhm.
praising them for even just the littlest thing, for even
Yeah.
opening their mouth and trying something. It doesn't need to be some huge victory,
Yeah.
by maybe their parents' standards, but just like getting them out of their shell. I think good teachers are very good at praising their student.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's see. What do you see yourself doing in the next few years? Are you a planner? Are you a goal setter? Like, I love goals, so I
Yeah.
love setting them.
I love goals too, but I'm always adjusting them.
Of course.
So I still have the goal of becoming a mom, but I fully understand that that is not in my own timing, or it would have happened 3 years ago.
Right?
So that is a big goal of mine, but not just being a mom, but being a mom who's very present.
Mhm.
Like I know some people who are really good role models for this, like who just, they do work and they dedicate that allotted time to work, but then they also, like, when it's not work time, they are 100% in, like they'll maybe
Yeah.
work while their kids are napping, and then they're 100% in when it's like work or
Hmm.
playtime with their kids. So that's kind of a goal I have, is to really have a good balance once I am a
Hmm.
mom. And not just with the kids, but like with my husband and with
Yeah.
my parents and with everyone else.
Yeah.
So I think just balance is really important. I've also gotten a lot more into fitness lately.
Hmm.
So I have some fitness goals, and that's something part of, when I was saying that not having the option to teach because my internet was bad, but having the option to get up and do other things instead, like work
Yeah.
out and read my Bible. And, like that really changed things for me, because it kind of got me started on a different foot. Like
Yeah.
I didn't wake up and feel rushed to get into the classroom, and there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that. Most people watching this probably do that. And I did that for like 2+ years.
Right.
But like, there's just something special about that morning time for me, that like I
Hmm.
really wanted to be able to focus on like fitness and my faith in the morning.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, my goals, are fitness related as well.
Hmm.
And then faith based. So I really, just the past few months, I've gotten just like reignited with my relationship with Jesus. And like,
Oh.
I used to be very shy about talking about my faith. Like,
Hmm.
it's almost like it's a bad word to say God.
Right.
like people kind of shudder, like, oh, okay, she's gonna go thump her Bible at me. Like, no, I'm not.
Right.
But I just know, for me, like the peace that I have gotten from spending time with Jesus in the morning and throughout the day,
Hmm.
like I can't chalk up my peace to anything else. Like, that is exactly where it came from. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Like the person I am now is not the same person I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 6 months ago. Like, I
Right.
have changed so much, and that can only come from, the Holy Spirit inside of me. And I know I probably sound like a lunatic right now, and I would
No,
have
you
thought the same thing.
don't.
I would have thought the
You
same
have me
thing.
listening.
Like,
I'm like all in it listening. Like,
yeah, but like, I mean, it's crazy to me that I went through my life for so long feeling anxious. Like, I am very naturally a type A person. So like,
hmm.
I have a plan, I'm going to stick to my plan. I'm very persistent, and when
Hmm.
things didn't work out for me the way that I wanted them to work out, I felt like I was crumbling, like I was crushing, like
Right.
I wanted motherhood and I wanted it now, and it didn't work, and I started like doubting everything about myself. Like, well, maybe
Mm.
I'm not supposed to be a mom. Maybe I'm not good enough to be a mom. Maybe this, maybe that. And like, just all this negative self talk. And like,
Right.
I got to a really, really bad place. Like,
Oh.
probably last summer or so was when I was really, really bad. Like, it's kind of spring into the summer when I, I lived my life as a victim. Like, I was
Hmm.
just like, jealous all the time of moms.
Uh,
Like, I couldn't even be around moms sometimes because I would just feel so like angry. And that
hmm.
wasn't me. Like, naturally, I'm not a very angry person, but I just got to this really, really bad place. Right.
Right.
And so, like, for me, it took finding a church where I was accepted and loved and like felt like everyone there had this peace that I wanted.
Hmm.
It took that for me to realize that there was more to life than what I had been doing, and how I had been living. Like, I was
Right.
so focused on goals and this and that, and I felt anxious all the time. Like, I wasn't sleeping well. Like, I was rock bottom, if you would. But then,
Yeah.
like, I feel like I almost was born again, like I got this new life to me that all of a sudden it's like all that stuff doesn't matter to me. Not that I don't want to be a mom or I don't want to, have a six pack or you know what I mean? Like it's not like I don't have goals. I do have goals, but I'm inviting God into those goals and like
Hmm.
spending time reading the Bible. And it's really amazing because I used to think that like reading the Bible was kind of a passive activity, just like reading the newspaper, reading this, but like
Right.
it's not. Like for me, it has become to this place where I can feel certain verses shouting out to me and I'm like,
Hmm.
whoa, and then it like actually directs my footsteps and I change what I'm doing. And then it's so rewarding in the end. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I've come to this place where like my main goal at this point is to bring people to Jesus so that they can have that peace too. Like
Hmm.
everything that I do, and I pray every morning for this, that whatever I do would be honoring to him and that people would not look to me, but to
Hmm.
look to him through me if they find me first. Like that I would just kind
Right.
of be a channel.
Hmm.
So I hope I didn't come across too preachy, but it's just
No.
like one of those things that it's like, you find this dessert and it's like the best thing you've ever eaten. And you're like, everyone else needs to have this chocolate
I
cake,
feel like I'm listening to my son right now.
Oh,
He is as passionate as you are, and
really?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He just
That's
got
awesome.
married about a month ago,
Yes, that's
not even
so
a month ago,
exciting.
but yeah, he is
Yeah.
as passionate as you are, and he talks about when he's reading his Bible and things, just the same as you.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
and so if anybody has questions about that, you're welcome to reach out to me too. But it's just
right.
like, I don't know. I'm a different person now. Like I really truly believe that God changes hearts. Like I am not the anxious
Hmm.
person I was before who was, kicking myself for everything and was angry and jealous and bitter
Right.
and like I feel like I hid those things really well, but that's kind of how I was feeling on the inside. I just
Hmm.
have this peace. Like
Yeah.
my uh state naturally is now just one of peace, which it
Hmm.
never really was before.
And as
So
a mom, you are further along in already knowing about splitting your time. Does that make
mm,
sense? Like when you were talking just now, I was a young mom. So for me, I was like, I didn't understand staying at home how lucky that was. Do you know what I
mm,
mean?
yeah.
Um so and then yeah, I don't know. It's so great that you notice that already. I don't know how to explain it,
I'm
but
sure it'll be a lot of trial and error when that does happen, and I'm sure
oh
that I
yeah.
will struggle to achieve that balance, but
It is a difficult balance, but it's great. Like it
yeah,
really is. Let's see.
awesome.
Got some messages. Oh, I hope she gets
Aw.
everything she dreams of and more. I know we're both like, oh, being a mom is
That's so
amazing. Hugs
sweet.
to Tina. That's awesome, Tina. How is the Christian group going? You were starting. Maybe you talked about that earlier. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I guess I can just touch on that real quick. So for anybody who's just joining us, there is a new Facebook group called VIPKid Christian Fellowship and Bible
Mhm.
Studies. It's kind of a long, long one. Um, but anyway, it's going really, really well. The people have really connected with each other in that group. And it's not like new people are going to feel like outsiders, like we're getting new people every day in there.
Mhm.
But it's just a place where people can kind of talk about their faith, walk through things together,
Right.
share scripture that's helpful to them or tips that are helpful to them, ask questions. It's not a VIP kid focused. It's just that's kind of a unifying thing is that we all happen to be VIP kid teachers.
Mhm.
And then we have Zoom calls every week, right now twice a week. And we do a Bible study in the app, and you can always do extra Bible studies in your app if you want. So it's going really, really well. So anybody who's interested in joining, just look up VIP Kid Christian Fellowship
Mhm.
on Facebook, or yeah, you have a link too.
We're both like, link below, link below.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, love Jesus. So glad you shared this, Tina. Shared personal journeys really help. Sharing personal journeys really help others. We appreciate it. Yes, I
Oh,
agree, Danny. And Cindy said, awesome how God has used you, Christina.
thanks, Cindy,
So,
and thanks for
yeah.
coming to. She's been coming to some of our calls too, so that's been cool to
Oh,
see.
good. Oh, that's right. That's where I first heard about it.
Yeah,
How how were we all
through
talking
Cindy.
about it? Yeah, Cindy was telling us
Yeah,
maybe during another live or something, but Cindy and Evelyn have mentioned it to me.
nice.
So let's see. What is your favorite resource book of professional development?
So, I mean, the Bible is
I was just
awesome.
gonna say, I know the first one.
And honestly, I wouldn't have said that until a few months ago
And
because I didn't really fully appreciate it until recently.
right.
But I did bring a book to share. I
Oh,
think it
good.
may have fallen, or maybe I sat on it. I tend to sit on things. Oh, it just fell. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so this is one of my favorite books, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Oh wow.
The only book you need to lead you to success. So it's actually an older book, but it is still so true. Like just the lessons that you learn in here, like some of the chapters sound really funny, like 6 ways to make people like you and a simple way to make a good first impression. And it's but so many of the
Habits.
tips in here I've applied, and like just I attribute a lot of my success to what I've learned through this book.
Good.
Just how to engage with people and make them feel really heard and special. And it talks about
Mhm.
like arguments and how to approach them successfully. And so anyway, yeah, this is definitely one of my go-to books.
Good. I wrote it
Win
down. So
friends.
as you were speaking, I looked over here and it was on the screen again. So I was able to copy it fully. Amanda
Nice.
said, joining group done. Oh, good.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing, Tina. There was a reason for me to find you and to be here today because
Aw.
I can relate to those feelings as well. I'm getting all
That's so
emotional. That's
important.
not
I
like
know.
me.
This is why, like, VIPKid has such a special place in my heart because I feel like I've met just the coolest people, and just
Yeah.
it's just amazing what technology can do and what God can orchestrate, and it's just like everything kind of fits together in such a cool way,
Mhm.
you know?
This is so good. I don't even know how to end this one today. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's been so nice just to hang out and chat with
Yeah.
Tina today.
It really did feel like we were just, hanging out. So
I
that's
know. I like those. I think pretty much all of the interviews have been like steered in some way of just like something I didn't expect to come out of all of these interviews, and
yeah,
I love it.
that's
That's such a
awesome.
great book. Need to give it another read.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to throw one of my goals out here right now. Feel free to call me out. I don't read. Never. Never
Audio
do I read. But
audiobooks.
I know I have bought some books. Okay, I've been taking like autism classes and stuff, and I can read those books. But
Mhm.
I want to start reading some self-help books and professional development books, and I've bought some. Nancy told me I bought a couple of them.
Nice.
How Rich People Think, and I wrote yours down. So I am starting to read. I think I'm gonna like
Yeah.
have to set a timer to
Yeah.
make
Make
myself
it
sit quiet and
grab some
read.
tea
And
or coffee or something. Make it
uh-huh.
make it fun. When you make it
Yes.
like, yeah, I feel like yeah, you have to like plan it. There you go. You have to actually plan it into your day or it's just not going to happen. Like the same
Hmm.
thing I found was true with me in working out. Like if
Yeah.
I don't personally work out in the morning, it doesn't happen.
Hmm. I
So
mean,
it's like you got to get it in there and plan it.
yeah. And you know how busy I am. I mean, you guys see
Yeah.
me. I bounce around a lot. I'm typical ADHD busy. So every time I sit down, I fall asleep. Like I go all
Oh.
day long until night. And the minute, knock on wood, I don't have trouble sleeping. I don't have
Hey,
trouble
that's
going to
great.
bed because I go and go.
Because you
So
pack your
every
day
time
so
I
much.
every time I try to
Your
sit
body's
down to
like,
read,
rest
I'm like,
time. Yeah. Aw.
no. Podcasts are awesome. Yeah, maybe I need to start doing more podcasts because
Mm,
I mean
mhm.
that's when I watch everyone's YouTube is when I'm like cooking and cleaning and
Yeah. You'd probably love podcasts then.
I need to do more of them.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that is it for questions here. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. This has been
Yeah, thank
great.
you, Casey. This was so much fun. I'm happy you asked my need, and thanks for being flexible with the scheduling and everything too.
Oh, I'm
Happy to
glad you could make it. Guys, check out all of her links below. Her website, her Outschool is on there, her Facebook group. I did not link your YouTube channel. It is Teacher Chris, Teacher Christina?
it's just Kristina Garcia.
Christina Garcia. So
Yeah.
I see I'm already subscribed to her, so I don't have to keep looking it up.
There you go.
So
Well,
check out
thank
her
you.
websites and everything. She's got great info everywhere. So thanks.
Thanks. I appreciate it,
All right,
Casey, and
everybody.
keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Absolutely.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Thank you.
Goodbye.